What up, class? Today is day 2 of our golf that we've been going over. It is going to be chapter 116, rule 116, 6-4. Day 2, like I said, lesson 1A and 5A. All right, we went over some of the terminology yesterday, and today we'll be going over clubs, the distances, and their uses, okay? So first, driver on your par 4s and par 5s that we talked about yesterday. This is a club you're gonna be wanting to go to most times, okay? It's gonna go farther than any other club you have in your bag. It'll reach up, if you're really pretty good, over 300 yards, okay? That is gonna be your long distance club, all right? Next that I have in my bag is going to be the 5 wood, okay? That is going to be a little bit less than the driver. It's still gonna go pretty far. You can hit it off the tee and the ground. Driver is gonna be what you're gonna wanna use for the tee only. You're never gonna hit this off the ground usually, okay? But your 5 wood you can hit off the ground because you're gonna swing it just like an iron, all right? And that's gonna go anywhere, if you're pretty good, 230, 250 range, okay? That is all for those. Our next is going to be our irons. In my bag, the farthest iron I have is a 5 iron, okay? So these numbers, obviously, they go from lowest to highest, all right? 5 iron is gonna go about 200 if you're pretty good, and that's gonna be situations where you're still pretty far from the green. You still got a ways to go in, okay? Next, bet you can guess, class, is going to be iron number 6. Let me show you the difference between iron number 9 and iron number 6, because this easily can get confused sometimes. Right here, class, this is 9, and 6 is gonna be right there with the line under it. The 6 will always have the line under it, and 9 will always be by itself, okay? 6 is the one above 5, obviously, but it'll go shorter than the 5 will, just by not too much, like 10, 15, 20 yards shorter. That is, again, pretty far out. Like I said, this might reach about 200 with a 6 iron if you're pretty good for most professional players. Next is going to be 7. And 7 is to start when you get a little bit closer, still pretty good far ways. 7 is going to be below 6, obviously, and that's going to be a good club for approach shots at the green and everything like that. Next is going to be 8 iron, of course, and that is going to go about 160. And then, like I said, we're going to have our 9 iron next. And then after that, the number system stops, okay? So then we go from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sometimes some clubs you have a 2 iron, 3 iron, 4 iron. But for me, I start off with a 5. And for this class today that y'all will be swinging later, we will start off with 5. Next is going to be the pitching iron, which usually comes in at 44 degrees. And that's going to be your starting one. These are the clubs that you'll be using. See the little P, see the lettering. These are the clubs you're going to be using on your approach shots for the green. That is in your vocabulary we talked about yesterday. When the green's a little bit closer, anything within 100 yards is usually what you're going to be using for your P wedge. Next, as there are bunkers in golf, we have the A wedge, which is your sand wedge. Okay, you'll see the A right here. So your P wedge and then your A wedge. Your A wedge is going to have a higher degree, make the ball go higher for shorter distances. Okay, that's going to be what you're going to use to usually get the ball out of the sand and everything like that. And then next, we go back to a numbering system, but it's just the number itself. So the next would be 54. So you see that it has 54 right there. It's a little muddy. 54 degree right there, and then your 6 degree right here. Okay, so 54 is going to go pretty high. It's going to go higher than your A wedge, which I think your sand wedge. Help me out here, Dev. What is that?
50, 52, something like that.
52 is usually what an A wedge, sand wedge will be coming in at. And 54 will be right after that, okay? Highest degree wedge that I have is a 60. Okay, so that is for your really, really close shots, probably a little bit past this pole right here and a little bit farther. Maybe if you hit it pretty hard, it can go 70 yards, but that's swinging pretty good. And that is our clubs. The Quizlet will be up in class. Forgot the name of it exactly, but it'll be the club Quizlet. And y'all will be using that to study over the different distances and different clubs and their order and everything like that. That is today's lessons, guys. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, class. Now that we've talked about what all the different irons do, how far they go and everything like that, we dug into swing mechanics a little bit day 1 yesterday. So we're going to talk about how to hold, how to set up for these different clubs, different irons, okay? So your driver, it's longer obviously, so you're going to be as far away from the ball as you possibly can be, okay? Not as far as you possibly be, but pretty good length. Arms out. You're going to line, come here, Dev. The ball is right here. You're going to set this up on your front foot, okay? You're going to take a bigger swing and really use your legs. That's your driver. All right, class, now we have 5 wood, of course. It's going to be close to the same thing. Like I said, you swing it more like an iron than you do a driver. So you're going to be a little closer to the ball this time, and the ball's going to be a little bit more straight in between your legs, okay? Arms still out. Boom. Normal iron swing. All right, guys, we have the 5 iron. 5 and 6 through 7 are going to be close to the same. You're going to want the ball slightly in front of where it would be in the middle of your stance. Okay, remember the grip we talked about? We talked about baseball grip. We talked about the finger lock grip, and then just the overlap. And you can pick between any of the 3, but that'll be for your driver, 5 wood, and your irons. You're always going to hold the club the same, except when you're putting, which we will get to. Okay, so again, just a little bit in front of your stance. Boom, iron swing. All right, guys, this is gonna be for your 8-9 iron. I have a 9 iron right here. You're gonna be a little bit closer to the ball, like I said. As the irons go, they get shorter and shorter. Okay, so you're gonna be a little bit closer to the ball right here. Make everything line up correctly. Hands, iron swing. All right, guys, this is your 60. This is gonna go through 60 through P wedge. Really, they're all pretty short irons, so you're gonna get a little bit closer every time. For the most part, it's the same swing. You're gonna put those things more on your back foot. You're gonna really get a little bit more over the ball, head over the ball. And you're not really usually gonna take a huge swing for these. Just bring it on back, hands the same, and iron swing. All right, guys, today is day 3. I want to make sure that y'all watched the Rick Shields video, how to swing a golf club, and did y'all's Kahoot assignment. We're gonna go ahead and talk about sort of how to play par 3 and also just what all these different things out here mean while playing golf. All right, class, so we, right here, are on hole 10 here at the Plainview Country Golf Club, par 3. So class, what club are we using right here?
We're gonna tee off, so the driver, right?
No, little Devin, that is incorrect. It's a par 3. See, these are your yardages right here, and we're probably going off from the black tees or very far back. 186. So what club is that going to be, Devin?
Maybe one of the irons.
Yes. What iron? Depends on the player.
Depends on the player.
But if you had to guess.
Maybe a 4, maybe 5.
Okay, I like that. Very good. Very good.
Go ahead.
Most courses are going to have different difficulties for different skilled players. The blacks, usually called the tips. The tips are always going to be the farthest spot for you to tee off on any hole, and it's going to be your hardest difficulty for your best players. So any tournaments or anything, like for the Whalen golf team, for example, they would tee off from the tips, the blacks. Then your blues is right around with your boy, you know, Coach Teacher Torran'S is where he would tee off right here. You know, he's not great, he's not horrible, you know what I'm saying? The whites will be your next one. Beginner players are still pretty good. You can get up and down the course. And then up front, whites, the college girls will play at the blues as well, by the way. And then for average players, maybe just getting into it, a little bit weaker, a little bit not as strong, hit the ball as far, will be the red tees up there. All right, guys. This, of course, the tee boxes are back there. This right here is going to be your fairway. fairway at some of the nicer courses is going to be shaped. It's going to be the short grass. You're going to usually want to hit off of that. It's going to be easier compared to over here, this thick grass right here. Or, you know, the road. You don't want to hit over there. That'd be OB again. That's one of our terms. And then we have our hole right up there. So in par 4, 5, in this fairway area, of course, the hole is going to be longer. You're going to want to use a club that you can hit farther, okay? But here on these, if you were to say you hit a bad tee shot, you're shorter, you're going to want to use those wedges, P wedge and A wedge that we talked about yesterday to get it to the green. All right, class, this is your green. On your green, most of the time, Devin, pretty much all the time, Mr. Little Devin, what club are you using right here?
On the green?
On the green.
Putter.
Putter. Love that answer. Good old flat stick. Of course, yep. Give a little tap. Roll it in the hole. Oh, hey there, class. All right, that's a conclusion to golf. It is a target sport. It's a sport that people of any age can play. You can play it when you're young. You can play it when you're old. It's not something that's super physically demanding, like football or basketball or something like that. You can play it into your later years. Super fun sport. There's a huge mental aspect to it and everything. You got to be smart. You got to pick the right clubs. It can be super frustrating. I think that golf has a lot of mental things in common with all the other sports. And so, yeah, golf is a great sport, y'all, and I hope that y'all enjoyed it.